Hi, everyone. Welcome to our wonderful presentation today. So, in true nautical fashion, there's going to be a couple things that we talk about in this thing. So, first and foremost, we say ahoy, sailors. And sailors are you, our wonderful potential clients that want to join us on. So, we like to do the little nautical theme with us here at Virgin Voyages. So, the voice you're hearing is my name is Sean Russo. I take care of the sales for Canada for Virgin Voyages. I take coast to coast, but I'm based out of the Toronto area myself. And really, what I want to do today is just kind of give you an overview of everything we're all about, and obviously highlight this fantastic voyage that Gina has put aside of interest for you wonderful individuals. So let's start off with a little bit of why the heck we're here. So first and foremost, our founder is Sir Richard Branson, and he's always had this concept around creating a cruise line. He is, we call 74 years young now. And he wanted to create a cruise line in his 20s and 30s and so forth. And he always wanted to create this experience for someone of that respective age. And then he realized, why are we worried so much around how old an individual is and if they should fit within a respective box? Let's look for those people that are young at heart, that enjoy life, and that transcends any age whatsoever. And since that concept, we've been rolling through this, and we've because of that we've won a lot of awards and a lot of different accolades that help set us up for in a position like here, where your wonderful travel professional Gina said, you know what, I really think that my network of people would really enjoy one of your trips. So just recently, just about a week ago, we won the best wellness program on board. So we'd like to do that balance of yin and yang, and I'll talk a little bit about that later. We've also became the two-time winner of the best cruise line in the world from our friends in Travel and Leisure magazine. So we really love the fact that our wonderful friends out there, vote us based on actual sailors themselves going on and experiencing the product. And we're the highest rated 2 years in a row, beating all the contemporary and other premium brands out there. We also are very proud to actually have won every single award from our friends at the Cruise Critics. And the Cruise Critics, for those maybe that haven't sailed a lot, are like the Emmys or the Grammys of the cruise world. And they've given us the following awards. And for us, that is amazing because it's the first time any cruise line in the history of the Cruise Critics has actually swept every single award in the category. And while I think all these are individually amazing awards to have, what I love and what I take away and what I want to always position these types of presentations on for potential sailors is the last one, the best value for your money. Because at the end of the day, any product can be absolutely amazing in any of those things. But if you don't walk off a ship and say, holy shit, that was some of the best food I've ever experienced. That is some of the best entertainment I've ever experienced. And overall feel like whatever you spent to go on that experience wasn't the good value for you. What's the point? And that's helps us transcend into that idea of setting sail, what we refer to as the Virgin Way. I jokingly say that we have something for everyone, but we're not going to be for everyone. But I hope throughout this presentation, you can see a little bit of yourself on one of our beautiful lady ships. So why Virgin Voyages? Well, first and foremost, we're adults only. No kids, no kidding. So adult to us is 18 plus. So you're not going to have little Johnny running around, touching things or jumping in the pool. You might have big Johnny after a couple cocktails decide to, hey, I want to have a little bit of fun. But we want to create that experience where it's adults only. We've also designed our dining concepts a little bit different. So it is more about that metropolitan style dining. The idea of these nice boutiques, small little eateries that you would find in any major city that have their own flavor and distinct atmosphere for it. We also want to include as much as possible for you, and I'll get to this one on the next slide. We focus a little bit more on that health and wellness. It's that balance of detox and retox, or I like to jokingly say, that yin and yang kind of idea, because it's all about balance, right? So we never want you to stop a potential healthy regime at home because you're on holidays. And our wellness is not necessarily just focused on, the ability to work out. It's also around how the food is prepared, the portions and such like that. We also realize that every single person is a little bit different. So we want to curate your experience based on what you want to do. So there's a lot of flexibility and freedom within our experiences. And we wanted to create our ladyships around that yacht inspired design. So more small, intimate spaces, a little bit of an upper design without that pretentiousness associated with some of other premium brands out there. Now, when we look at luxury, we always say there's about $1,000 of added value that we put into our experiences that other cruise lines traditionally will make you pay additional for. So when it comes to dining, all of our dining experiences are included. You do not pay a premium to eat at the quote unquote good restaurant or a la carte restaurant. We believe that Wi-Fi is a basic human right, so it's included in its high speed internet. We want you to have the best shows and entertainment, so we curate our own shows just for our ship. We don't take an 80s movie or something on Broadway and bring it onto our ship. They're all designed for us. That balance of yin and yang gives us that all of our group fitness classes, whether it's yoga, Pilates, sound therapy, bar classes, cycling classes, those are all included. You don't have to pay for those. We also know that you've worked really hard for your money and we've take care of our staff really well. And we say there is no gratuities at all on our ship. So you're not asked to tip, you're not allowed to tip at the bars, as well as at the end of the ship, you're not going to have a bill with gratuities on it. And of course, we want to have those essential beverages, the things that keep us alive. So your flat and sparkling water are all included. Your non-pressed juices, regular coffee and tea are all bundled in the airfare or in the cruise fare. You don't actually have to present a card or anything when you want these. In addition, we have no single-use plastics on our ship. So if you ask for a bottle of water, you're going to get a glass of water. However, in your stateroom, you're going to have two 1 liter crafts, which are pictured on the top right there. That'll have flat and sparkling water that is replenished throughout the day. And we encourage the use of reusable water bottles because we have water filtration systems all throughout our ships. So as I mentioned before, we really cater to the young at heart. We don't really necessarily care about when you're respectfully born. But inevitably, the average age of our client is 49 years. So that's the sweet spot with us. But it all depends on the length of the journey and the parts of the world. So you can have people, you can have the average age in the mid to late 50s. You can have the average age into like the earlier 40s, all depending on that experience. But what our sailors, regardless of when they were born, have in mind or have in common is they are young at heart. They are open-minded individuals that love to converse with other people while they're traveling. And of course, they love that idea of casual luxury associated with it. Nothing too pretentious. They don't want to wear a tux for a certain night or whatever the case may be, but they want to feel confident and good in whatever clothes they're wearing. And this has helped transcend us into this ability to have a mixed bag of ages that truly love and respect one another on the ships, and they don't have those little cliques around there. It's also given us that opportunity to have this experience on board the ship where you can do really whatever the heck you want, and you're going to always have a great experience coupled with some amazing food. Now, I want to introduce you to this woman in the middle here, right? Because this is what, typically people are like, oh, cruises, they tend to land a little older or whatever the case may be. And even if though that this wonderful lady in the middle is a little bit older than our average age per se, she doesn't allow herself to be dictated by how old she is. And I think that's a really special thing because I don't like to be told I can or cannot do anything based on my age. And I'll show you what I mean.
Want to see where I am? Look at this. Oh my!
Walking on a dream.
We made it.
How can I explain? Talking to myself.
Just traveling the world,
This is the best.
trying different drugs and girls.
Yeah, we are always running
places we
for
never
the
been.
thrill.
And that's her and her girlfriends, and they've traveled with us multiple times across multiple of our lady ships. So when we speak about our ships, we call our ships lady ships. They're just designed around familiarity and focusing around these beautiful destinations. So we have 4 ships out there: our Scarlet Lady, our Valiant Lady, Resilient, and Brilliant Lady. And they sail all across the world. Everything from our home ports in Barcelona and Miami, also home ports in Greece and in the UK. And then into 25 and 26, we're actually do home ports in New York, Miami, LA, and Seattle. because we'll be going up into Alaska, which is quite nice. Now, our ships go all over the place. So I just put this on here, just kind of showcase like the lengths of it. I'm not expecting anyone to really deep dive into this, but we do everything from 4 to 16-day itineraries across the globe. But specifically, Gina has highlighted this itinerary in the Caribbean islands into Colombia. I love this trip so much. I'm trying to get on it myself when the first sailing happens. And I love this for multiple reasons. But first and foremost, they have 3 late nights in ports. And I'll showcase a little bit later what I mean by that. But that's allowing you that opportunity to spend more time in the ports instead of having to run back to the ship to like carry on your voyage. So you've got all of those, and you've got 3 days at sea that gives you all that ability to really see what the resilient lady in this case has to offer on the ship, because I can guarantee you, you will not be bored. But across everything we do, we have over 50 different destinations around the world in terms of, geographical regions. But we do longer ports of call in different ones. We spend multiple nights in cities, whatever the case may be. But we really feel at the end of the day, we've got something for you. And to start really that off, I like to start about the entertainment, right? And asking really, are you ready to be entertained? Because being entertained is one of those aspects around the enjoyment of it. Sure, you can have amazing food, beautiful port to call, but you're on a ship for a long period of time. So you want to experience what we have to offer. And I think the best way to do this, to be honest, is to highlight some of the shows, pop-up events and such like that we do have on our ships. And there's a lot of things to unpack on that, but really we can break the types of events, or we call gigs on board, into 2 sections. Out amongst the sailors, so these are things that happen spur of the moment, right? So these are pop-up events, different types of experience that don't happen in a quote unquote traditional theater. The other ones are the in-venue events, right? So those are the ones around, those are structured shows. So there's a time and a place for every single one of those types of shows. And these are a couple of the highlights of some of our shows below. So we have a show called Misbehaving, which is a really fun show where it allows people the opportunity. It's kind of like improv. So depending on what the audience says and does, we kind of act things out. The festival act comes everything from magicians to comedians to pop-up singers, or whatever the case may be. If we all dial back to a time, maybe like I always refer to it as like the Carol Burnett kind of era, it's that variety show, and we have one called the It's a Ship Show. So we like to do a little puns on a lot of things, where you do a little bit of a variety of different types of experiences. And then, of course, one of my favorites is Ships in the Night, which is another great show that's done in our Red Room. Now, outside of that, there's a lot of other places where you can go have all sorts of different entertainment. So we have 3 private karaoke lounges that I quite love to go into, anywhere from 4 to 8 people per lounge. And I say you practice in private and then you perform in public, because right below that karaoke lounge picture is our social club. And our social club is really great for trivia, different events. But at nighttime, we'll bring out the karaoke master and we'll sing to our heart's content if you wish. If people are gamblers, we've got a great and small but mighty casino. What I love about this is kind of got like that golden eye kind of theme with the portholes, but you can actually see what time of the day is. We want you to enjoy yourself. We also don't want you to get lost in that casino, right? We want you to go experience the beautiful ports of call and the amazing other things that are on our ship. We also bring back all of our favorite video games from the 70s, 80s, and 90s without any quarters required, which is quite fun. So you usually see me playing the original Donkey Kong or the Super Mario game from the late 80s, things that I grew up with. We also then will have that idea of that balance, right? That yin yang. And this is where that health and wellness components come in. So on the left, you've got our beautiful Redemption Spa. That is a great place to go utilize the plunge pools, the saunas, the salt beds. You can get any therapeutic massages, kind of like what's pictured on the right-hand side if you wish. We do have the B complex, which is our build and balance and bike and burn. That's your traditional weights. So you've got machine assisted weights as well as free weights, and then all sorts of running machines or cycling machines that you can use at your leisure or join in any of those complementary classes that are included. You also have the running room, the runway, which is pictured in the middle, which is a quarter-mile track that you can run or walk. Plus, we also have some great outdoor space for any yoga. We also then will have an outdoor boxing rink and other, I call it like actual weight assisted weights. So you can do push-ups or those kind of boxes and such you do at like CrossFits and such like that. We also do things a little bit different because health and wellness is not necessarily just about, relaxing or sweating. It could be around mental health and getting something that is personal for yourself. So we are the first cruise line in the world to actually have a tattoo parlor at sea. So you can get a tattoo, permanent makeup, or piercings on our ships. We've partnered up with a wonderful organization called Squid Ink, and we fly world-renowned artists from around the world on board our ships to provide this service for our sailors if they wish. It is obviously a chargeable item, but it does sell out after day one. So if you're interested in ever doing something or adding to a collection, you can do that on one of our lady ships. The other thing that makes us a little bit different is we take away that conformity of what traditional cruises as. So there's always like that formal night or a white party or something like that. Now with Virgin Voyages, we like to celebrate love. The color of our logo is red. The whole premise of Virgin as a whole collective group is around love and understanding and giving people something that they didn't know they wanted. And we celebrate love in our quote-unquote formal night called Scarlet Night. So Scarlet Night is really just a fun experience around telling a story of a sailor who literally fell in love with an octopus, right? So it's a completely made-up story, but the premise around this is love and who cares who you love as long as you love. So we encourage people to wear a little bit of red, get up on the pool deck where we'll tell the story, and if you want, you can dance. A lot of people end up in the pool, but it's a fun, different type of experience that you can go. So I've taken some photos of some of my journeys on here. So I had a group on there and everyone dressed in red, which was really fun at the roundabout, which is in the midship. We've also get some great people that just, dress up and just have a good time. So if people love the idea of dressing up, the Scarlet Night is a really fantastic option. The other option that you might be interested in is on day one of our sailings, we actually have what we refer to as a pajama party. So it's a great way of breaking the ice. We encourage you to wear whatever pajamas you feel comfortable in, and we'll dance the night away at the top deck, just on the back, so not by the pool. And we'll do best dress contests and such like that. But it's a great way of people getting to know one another, really kicking off their voyage together, which is a lot of fun. But with all this entertainment and such like that, you might be a little bit hungry, right? And what I think, if I had to say one thing that I would ever miss by not going on a Virgin Voyage would probably be the restaurants. Because our restaurant concept, the way we handle our culinary program is second to none and very different. And instead of me just kind of rhyming off everything, I want to physically show you what some of this dining experiences are like. again, all that food is included, right? So your average cruise, you're going to spend anywhere from $50 to $100 a person to get the quote unquote specialty restaurants, that celebrity chef that's never probably been on that ship to begin with. What we've done is we've created and partnered up with Michelin star chefs around the world to create these experiences. These are these unique experiences. So no single restaurant has the same cutlery, same wait staff, same plates, and everything is different because when you go to, and I'm going to use some very generic names, if you go to the Keg and then you go to Kelsey's, of course you're going to expect different experiences from service level as well as decor. That's the same thing with our ships. Also, not a single menu item is duplicated across the board. I've been on so many cruises where I've been to the main dining rooms or one of the 3 or 4 main dining rooms, and it's the exact same menu, just 1 or 2 different items on there. Also, we have 0 buffets on our ship, which I quite love. Now, we've got a bunch of different eateries across our board, but we focus on what I'm going to focus on first is the 6 main restaurants we have, the 6 main a la carte restaurants that are all included in this voyage fare. So the first and foremost is the Wake. It's our steak and seafood restaurant. This one is really about the glitz and glam of the world, right? This is what I call our drop dead gorgeous dining room. So this is really where you're going to have, your steaks, your seafood towers, an extensive wine list, and it's also available for an amazing brunch experience. Gumbay is a very different experience than you're going to get on most cruise lines. So this, first and foremost, Gumbay means cheers in Korean, and this is a Korean barbecue, and you're not actually cooking anything on there. They're cooking for you, so you can kick back and relax. And Gumbay, again, being cheers, allows us that opportunity to bring out a bottle of soju to every single table, and we play a fun little drinking game. And if you screw up, you have to cheers Gumbay. Just a fun, different little experience, nevertheless. But they are communal tables, so great place of meeting other sailors while you're on the trip as well. Something a little bit different is Razzle Dazzle, and Razzle Dazzle is more of our veggie forward restaurant, but it has like a nice healthy balance of nice and what we refer to as naughty. So the nice part is the plant-based vegetarian or vegan dishes that are available, but then we have that naughty option, right, where we have our meat options, and we have like probably the best bacon I've ever had at sea is at Razzle Dazzle, as well on the dinner menu. An amazing lamb shank. It is literally the size of the plate. It's huge. This is available for breakfast and brunch as well as dinner. Looking at some other places we've got going on in here, we've got the next restaurant is our Extra Virgin. And Extra Virgin is our modern, more regionally inspired approach to Italian. So think of this more like shared table or shared plates. We want people to order literally the whole menu and eat family style. So I'm Italian, so I love like the meatballs, the fresh made to order pastas, an extensive wine list, and the end of the meal, I love to have the affogato cart come by and I get my espresso with my ice cream and I get everything put on top. A really great way of ending the meal. Pink Agave is our upscale Mexican restaurant, more elevated than your traditional Mexican restaurant. So we say leave the tacos behind on here. And this is where you can get that vibrant, shareable plates of Mexico City. So this is available for dinner and after hours. So later evening where you can do like shared quick little bites. But what we have on this menu is everything on this menu is actually gluten-free, which is quite nice. We also have gluten-free options across all the other restaurants, but this is a nice highlight there. And it has the world's largest mezcal and tequila collection at sea. Something even a little bit more different is our test kitchen. So our test kitchen is where we kind of blur that line between the back of the house and the front of the house, is more set up like a laboratory style experience where it's part cooking school and part restaurant. Now, you're not actually having to cook a thing, but what we do is we give our chefs creative freedom. So you can see on the left, the menus are all like one item. And what we do is we allow our chefs to create a dish based on a single item. So really fun, different, vibrant colored plates and such like that. And then, of course, outside of that, we've got all sorts of different restaurants. And this is just literally a highlight of some of the more quick eats and casuals. So the back of the ship, we've got the dock and the dock house. Great place for tapas, sangria. If you're outside, we'll have a DJ playing where you can just enjoy the day beds and such. Pizza place, which also has gluten-free crusts for you that is ready-to-made personalized pizzas. So not a slice, an actual pizza. We've got our Sun Club Cafe, which is always a little hidden, but I always tell people to find it. It's right outside of Richard's rooftop on deck 16. But this is where you get your rice bowls and poke bowls and bows, and it's available for lunch. If you want something not so healthy, but equally good, you can go to the Sun Club. That's where you get your wings, your nachos, your hot dogs, and then it's got a confectionery wall, so you can get like I always grab a bag of Hot Lips and like Twizzlers. We've got our coffee shop, which also has fresh baked goods. And then one of my favorites that people usually giggle at when I say it is our ice cream and gelato place called Lick Me Till Ice Cream. Again, a little bit of a play on words on that, but it's just a simple thing. What do you do with that ice cream cone? You lick it. We also have all sorts of different bars all around the ship. And I'm not going through all these, but it just really, what I can say is each one of our bars has a different type of vibe and experience. So if you want laid back, you want to listen to jazz or funk, my favorite place to go is on the rocks. If you want, an a cappella singer while you're having champagne and caviar, well, the Sip Lounge is a really great place to be. If you want to sing along with an acoustic band, well, the dock is a really great place to go hang out and so forth and so forth. We also have a great program where you literally can take your mobile phone, and you can't see here, but you shake your phone and champagne will show up wherever you are at. That's our Shake for Champagne, where you get a full bottle of Moet delivered wherever you are. Now, there's a charge aspect for it, but it's a fun little experience because you might be celebrating an anniversary, a birthday. Heck, the fact that it's Monday and you survived the weekend, that might be a really great way of celebrating things as well. So what else can we talk about while I've got you? Well, let's talk a little bit about our cabin experience. So there's a lot of different things that make us unique. So our cabins are super modern, right? So we wanted to create an experience that felt comfortable, but also classy. So we have multiple different types of cabins, and I'll go through some more bigger visuals on here. But across all of our cabins, Wi-Fi obviously is included with that. We've made our cabins very cleverful. So when you walk out of the room, the blinds are automatically going to close. When you open the door, the blinds will automatically open. We've got our 24-hour ship eats, so that's the opportunity of room service. But one of my tips for you on room service is there's technically a delivery charge. However, if you order like a can of beer, a Red Bull, a glass of wine, maybe for later, the delivery charge is waived. So I always order a beer with my breakfast. Not that I'm going to drink it, but I'm going to put it and no one's going to judge me if I am, but I will put it in the fridge and drink it later because it gives me that opportunity to waive that fee. And everything around our cabins are eco-friendly, from the products we use, from the materials we utilize. So I'm going through these quickly because I don't know if we're going to really have a lot of solo insiders or solo sea views, but it's out there. So we offer two types of rooms that don't carry a single supplement. So our solo insider, meaning no windows, as well as we have our solo sea views, porthole or like a picture window. So you get some natural light. We also have our social insider. I've never actually been in one of these, but these are for like friends that really like to be close to one another. You can have that opportunity. But the majority of our cabins are these. These are our sea terraces, pictured where I am with our balcony, with our hammock. This is what makes up 86% of our cabins, right? These are awesome cabins. They can be set up matrimonial the way this is set up here, or you can make it into double configuration. We'll move the beds around. We also have an iPad you can see on the left-hand side there on the desk, and this is your key to everything. This is how you utilize the TV. This is how you order room service. You need laundry, you want more water, whatever the case may be, you do there. But it also is fun because remember, we're adults only. So adults do things different than little kids do. Let's just put it that way. So there's buttons like hangover mode, and it becomes all Zen-like, and the lights turn down, and there's Zen music play. There's even like a get it on button because, hey, you know what? You and your partner might be want to have some fun in the room, and by all means, you can do that. And of course, you've got these beautiful hammocks that are on every single one of our sea terraces where you can lounge and enjoy yourself. You might also want to look at some of our suites. And we say sweet dreams are made of these because we've got 78 suites across all of our ships. 63 of them are what are referred to as Rockstar quarters, while the remaining 15 are what we refer to as Mega Rockstars. So when we look at the Rockstar cabins themselves, we go everything from just under 400 square feet up to about just under 900 square feet. And they all have access to Richard's Rooftop, which is a private oasis just for our suite guests. We also have an in-room bar where the first round of bottles is on us. You'll have early access in making your dining reservations and your shore excursions, and you'll have a 24-hour concierge with you. Now, if you want things, any above that, you might be thinking of a Mega Rockstar suite. So these ones start, around the 570 mark and they in square footage and go on just under 2,200 square feet. So they have everything I mentioned before plus more. So they have a daily bar tab. So every drink on board, $25 or under, is on us. So it's basically an open bar minus high-end scotches, bottles of wine, and champagne. You have daily access to the spa. So if you want to go use the plunge pools every single day, all the power to you, they're included. We'll also pick you up at the airport or provide you parking in your destination of choice. That in-room bar is not only bottomless, but it also be curated. So for instance, when I was in a Mega Rockstar, I'm a gin drinker, so I just took all the rum and the vodka out and I just had a walkload of gins. So think about it like you were a rock star and you were in the green room and you want a specific type of drink. You only wanted red M&Ms in your room. That's that rock star experience on there. And you've got the premium Wi-Fi. So the only difference between the regular included Wi-Fi and premium is it allows you to do Netflix and chill or do Zoom. We want you to disconnect and enjoy yourself whenever possible. So we put that as a little bit of a premium, but in the Rockstar suites, those are included. But I want to show you this Mega Rockstar, or one of the Mega Rockstar suites, in a quick little video. What I want you to look at is when we get to the patio in this video, look specifically at the dining room table outside, and I'll come back to it at the end of it. Now there's no sound to it, so. You've got these large washrooms that are available for you, tub, shower. Those guitars can physically be pulled off the wall if you want to. Okay, so you've got a nice little couch there, but look at the table. There's stairs that you can walk up on the table. So when Richard wanted us to design these ships, he wanted people to be able to dance and enjoy themselves wherever they are. That includes dancing on the table if they wish. So you've got that opportunity. So what I want to do is I want to kind of lead us towards the closure of this presentation, but also then provide you with some an opportunity to do some question and answer. But I want to talk about some offers. So as I mentioned before, Gina's created this great itinerary for you, but I wanted to let you know about some things that can be quote unquote stacked upon the offers that are currently out there right now. So right now, what we're doing is we're doing a buy one, get the second sailor at 70% off or 35% off each person. And that's running until the end of July. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be offering a complimentary upgrade from a sea view, so the ones with the portholes, up to a limited view sea terrace. So if you want, it's the exact same price point. So beforehand, that would have been like a $500-$600 difference. If you book before the end of this month, we're now giving you that opportunity to get that complimentary upgrade. And when Gina books it, she's literally just not even going to look at the sea view. She's going to put you in the sea terrace because that's the one that is already included and priced out the same way. Yeah, like I said, it's $325 per person, so $650 total value. We also provide these wonderful bar tabs. So I never talked about alcohol yet. So alcohol for us is something that we celebrate. Obviously, we enjoy a beverage or two, but we also want it to be a little bit different than your typical cruise company. So typical cruise, if you're sharing a room with someone, they probably have to buy the same package you do. We didn't like that because it forced people to buy something they necessarily didn't use. So we've adopted, created, whatever way you want to say it, this thing called the bar tab system. So it allows you that freedom to prepay for alcohol if you choose to, and we will throw money in there on it for you. So if you bought, say, a $300 bar tab, we'll give you $50 extra. So I always say that's about like 10 free Heinekens in order to enjoy. There is no pressure to buy a bar tab. They can only be purchased, however, beforehand. If you choose not to buy a bar tab or you run out of bar tab, no problem. You just have a bill at the end. But as I mentioned, drinks are pretty economical on our ships. So beers start as low as $5, go up to like 8, 9, 10, 11, depending on your microbrewery of choice. Mixed drinks, cocktails, usually 8 to 9 and up, and 42% of our glasses of wine are under $10 a glass. So pretty economical. We also have our sailing club. Now, I know that a lot of you have come from and experienced other cruise lines in your life, and maybe you have loyalty with one of those other cruise lines or many of those. So we actually do a match and sail. So for people that are of any of these ones on the left, these brands on the left, and have membership tiers on any of these are on the right, and I can send this to Gina as well later. You'll just fill out a form, or Gina will fill out this form on your behalf, and the form looks like this. It's pretty easy, pretty quick and easy to do. But you do need a confirmed booking before we can do a status match. Can't status match nothing. And just for being loyal to another brand, we're going to give you the following. We're going to give you a complimentary specialty coffee, so your cappuccinos, macchiatos, whatever the case may be, per day. That traditionally is utilized by your bar tab. We're going to give you that dedicated concierge or sailor service support on board. We're going to throw a party just because you're awesome. So we're going to have a cocktail party just for you. And we're going to even do some laundry for you just for a status match. Even if it's your first time on board our ship, you're going to get this. This also fast tracks you to the fact that, because this we usually will give out after your third sailing. So you've actually quickly passed 3 sailings just by doing a status match. And because of this, we really think that you'll have a great time on one of our ships. So we always say, now we're voyaging and now you're voyaging together, because it's really about the people that you're going on the cruise with, but also those wonderful people you meet on our ships, because we just have people that love to socialize and have a good time. We're really not looking at what you're dressed like or who you're with. We just want good people that want to have a little bit of fun. And that's what really our premise is. So when we've created this experience, I wanted to make it even easier for you. So for attending tonight, or for those listening to the recording, if you make your reservation with Gina before the end of the month, now that's just the deposits. What I'll do is, depending on the room category you book, I will give you anywhere from 50 to 200 US dollars of onboard credit. So what could onboard credit be? Well, onboard credit could be for shopping, and like in some of the shops. It can be utilized to buy a shore excursion when you're on board. It can be utilized at the casino, technically. It could even be utilized to getting a tattoo, whatever you want. It's just not combinable with what we call our My Next Virgin Voyage, meaning if any of the wonderful people have been on board and purchased a future voyage credit, those aren't combinable because that offer is actually much more rich than this offer. And all you have to do is make that reservation with Gina, and Gina will send me any bookings that are made before the end of the month, and I can apply those details for you. So just as a reminder, this is the itinerary we're looking at. It's that iconic Caribbean Isles in Colombia from the 21st of January to February 1st, 2025. In and out of San Juan, Puerto Rico. We're going to start off with a couple sailing days before hitting Cartagena. And Cartagena, actually, let me flip to the next one. Cartagena is probably one of my favorite cities in the world. And look at this. You're getting in at 8 in the morning. We don't leave till midnight. So you have that great opportunity to come back and forth from the ship if you choose to. But also you can have a great dinner on there. And some of my favorite, if you want a really great story and a really great eat, there's a restaurant in Cartagena that used to be a former women's jail. And what this is it's an outreach program where they teach women that had been convicted nothing too serious, but of crimes, and they teach them hospitality skills. So it's a really great way of giving back to the community and having an amazing meal in Cartagena. Also, for any couples, I always recommend climbing the walls of the walled city and sitting in the corners. Really beautiful. We're then going to have a nice sailing day where we can enjoy all of the amenities on board the ship before we hit up our next few stops. So you'll see where we've got a 9 to 7 o'clock, so a little bit of a short day, but a full day on there. Then we're going to do a 9 to 11 p.m. itinerary, and then another sailing day before continuing on to our last few spots on there, which is really, really good because you're seeing some beautiful ports of call on this experience. Some of the things you can do now. This is just a quick highlight of whether you're in Cartagena, you're in St. Lucia, wherever you are on here. Here's a couple neat little things you can see. But what Gina is able to do is, as we get closer to the departure, basically just before 120 days, there's a full guide of every single possible shore excursion that is out there for you. Like literally, there are probably 30 or 40 different things you can do on each specific port of call. It'll tell the physicality, so what's that physical rating, price points, and what type of experience it is. Because there are like those energetic ones, there's the chill and zen ones, there's once in a lifetime, but all sorts of different types of experiences that you can experience based on your own personal tastes, desires, and budget. But she can help you out with all of those. So really, just to wrap up on everything, I hope that you learned a little bit more about Virgin Voyages, what we're really all about, the uniqueness that we do present to sailors just like yourself. And I hope that you can see yourself experiencing one of our amazing lady ships, and specifically this itinerary on Resilient Lady in 2025. So on behalf of everyone here at Virgin Voyages, I want to say thank you so much for giving me some time of your evening. I'm going to just stop the recording, if I can figure out how to do that. And from there, what I'll do is I'll just answer any questions. So thank you so much.